Sometimes For Life distributors treat us like we are rock stars or celebrities. But we are just ordinary people. But together, we are doing extraordinary things.
When Bianca and I think about what's happened so far in our journey with For Life, we are filled with deep gratitude for all the people who have worked so hard to make the For Life dream a reality.
That's so true. When David first told me about the research he'd uncovered about transfer factors, I thought they sounded fascinating. Transfer factors aren't vitamins, minerals, or herbs. They really were unlike anything we'd ever heard of. Transfer factors sounded amazing, but I wasn't completely sold.
When I told Bianca that I wanted to start a company to bring transfer factors to the market, she wasn't all that excited.
He's right, I admit it. I knew the kind of work and effort, sacrifice, and total commitment starting a new company would require. And frankly, I wasn't sure I was up to it. It wasn't until I had the chance to try transfer factors for myself and experience their benefits that I knew we had something very special. I knew we had to do this. I realized then that everything we'd done professionally up to that point in our life wasn't the end, but it had just prepared us to launch For Life.
I remember very well the day that we signed the papers to mortgage our home so that we would have enough money to start For Life. I remember asking Bianca, "Are you ready to do this?" You remember that day?
I remember that moment exactly. And it was this house we were mortgaging, which I think we've told our children to never do. But we remember that we felt it was worth the risk. I felt excitement at what lay ahead and also a great desire to share what we had with everyone we knew. And that excitement really overpowered the fear that I felt.
And that's exactly what we did. We started holding meetings in our own home, this very home. We were telling people one at a time about what we were doing and inviting them to join us, just like what For Life distributors do on a daily basis. Now, some meetings went better than others, but we just kept at it.
That's true. I remember some nights only having a handful of people. And like many For Life distributors, there were moments we wondered if we were going to make it. But you know, it's times like these that you have to have, because it's then and only then that you realize how much do you really believe in what you're doing. And it's that belief that keeps you going.
I remember one time in particular, we held a meeting with our small staff reviewing the progress of the company in the very early days. We weren't growing as quickly as we had hoped, and we'd even thought about quitting. I'll never forget what Bianca did in that meeting. She stood up with great conviction and said, "We are not giving up. What we have to share is too important." She also said, "If I have to sell transfer factor on the street corner, we will be successful."
Well, luckily, we didn't have to sell our products on the street corner, and For Life continued to grow. But I remember that moment. I think I needed that moment to determine for myself how much I believed in what we're doing. I'm grateful that we established For Life with this solid foundation. I remember someone saying that, well, you need to hire or pay a distributor to come with For Life. And we made a decision that we didn't want to do that. We wanted to attract people who shared in the same vision we had for Life. And because of that decision, we now have an extraordinary family of distributors who truly believe in the company's mission of together building people through science, success, and service.
One of the foundational pillars of For Life is our commitment to always lead the way in science. We promise you that our products will always be based on the most cutting-edge research available. And our ongoing research and innovation with For Life transfer factor science is evidence of that commitment.
You know, we even put science, success, and service. We had it carved in stone outside of the front office to remind us of this commitment, to never forget that. And success is that second foundational pillar at For Life. With great products comes the opportunity for great success as you share them with others. We wanted our opportunity for rewards with success to be as extraordinary and unique as our product transfer factor is.
And you know, that's exactly what we have. The third pillar of For Life, and probably the most important, is service. Our commitment to service is twofold. We pledge to give our distributors the best service possible in helping them to be successful. And we pledge to join hands with our distributors all over the world to engage in service for people in need.
With service, I think the miracle of For Life truly becomes evident. I'm convinced that no company has more giving distributors than For Life does. The generosity of For Life distributors continues to amaze me. It's such an honor to be involved with Foundation for Life efforts, the For Life Fortify program, and the many humanitarian projects that are led by our amazing distributors throughout the world.
And nothing is more rewarding than seeing our distributors engage in helping others succeed and live their dreams. This brings Bianca and me great joy.
Oh, absolutely. You know, David, I really see our role as the caretaker of people's dreams. Our distributors trust us with their deepest hopes and aspirations. This really is a sacred partnership that we want them to know we don't take lightly.
And when we hear about even just one person's success story, the dreams one person has achieved because of For Life, that makes it all worth it.
Oh, it really does. You know, David, earlier I mentioned that when you first asked me about starting For Life, I wasn't too excited. I think I was afraid to fail, afraid that maybe I didn't have what it would take to do this.
You know, maybe some of our distributors feel that way as well. Maybe even they feel nervous about taking that first step forward with For Life. I think sometimes we wish we could see the outcome of a decision beforehand so we would know whether to go forward or not. I know I felt that way before.
Absolutely. You know, when you first approached me about starting For Life, I wish back then, I could have seen what happened in the future. I wish I could have seen where we are now, the subsequent research that continually is emerging about the power of transfer factors. If I had seen that then, I would not have been afraid to go forward. If I could have seen back then the thousands of people whose lives have been changed through the For Life opportunity, I would not have been afraid. And if I could have seen back then the faces of the children whose lives are happier and brighter today because of For Life service efforts, I would not have been afraid. You know, sometimes I like to ask people, what is in your future that you cannot yet see? Who's out there waiting for you to help them make their dreams come true? I tell them, don't let doubt and fear keep you from realizing that future. There's just too much at stake.
Oh, that's absolutely right. At For Life events, you know, people often thank us and say they wouldn't be where they are today without us. But frankly, the truth is we wouldn't be where we are without them. That's the beauty of network marketing. We cannot succeed unless they succeed. It's a great partnership we are in, together building people.
For Life.